Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on here and make a really quick video to share an mind-blowing oof that just happened to me that really confirmed that our perspectives, you could say our beliefs, but more our frame about reality and how we see and feel about the situations in our reality, in our lives, the things happening around us. How we feel and view those things actually dictates how the turn of events unfolds and what we attract to us. So, a little backstory. Just a half hour ago, I was sitting in my room watching an Aaron Doty video. Highly recommend his channel if you have not heard of him. He makes a lot of content about a lot of esoteric topics, and really he has helped me a lot to reconnect with my inner child and heal my frame of reality and how I'm approaching my experiences and my circumstances. Because basically I was watching one of his videos and he was talking about how trusting in life and basically the way we interact with our experiences, that really can determine like how things unfold. So let me talk a little bit about what happened for me, and then I'll kind of tie into what he was talking about. So I order my cat food from Chewy. It's like a cat, dog, animal app, kind of like an Amazon for animal products. So I usually, every time my Chewy order gets delivered, it gets delivered by like noontime, which is when my cats have lunch, so it's kind of perfect. I get my food just in time to give them dinner. But today I saw that it was running a little bit late, and all day I have been panicking. And I've really been in my ego. And basically what I realized through this Aaron Doherty video was that I was kind of operating from my ego and was really trying to control reality to get the outcome that I wanted, because I didn't trust reality and because I was afraid that bad things would happen, that things wouldn't unfold the way I wanted them to, etc., etc. So I'm literally sitting on my bed half hour ago, like ruminating and stressing, because my cats always love to eat between like 4:30 and like 5:30 p.m. And it was 4:30. They were starting to get hungry and I felt guilty. Like I didn't want to sit there and starve my kitties, but I didn't have any food and I didn't want to go to the store and go get stuff because one, very low on funds, just used most of our money to purchase this cat food, and two, the order was supposed to be here, so didn't want to, go out and buy more. Just, ego things going through my mind, like, what are we going to do if the cat food doesn't get delivered? I'm going to have to say something to, my boyfriend's mom, and I might have to ask to borrow money, and like just that downward spiral that the ego and the mind can go on. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching this video, and I'm like just going through these thoughts. And when Aaron started talking about how, when we're trying to control reality, that's because we're operating from our ego and we're not trusting in life, we're not trusting in the divine, not operating in alignment or in collaboration with the divine. And so he's basically, speaking all these truths, really resonating with me. And as I realized that, I had the revelation that, damn, I'm not trusting in the universe to meet my needs, bringing me my cat food, bringing me abundance, whatever. I have felt like I need to do everything. And my ego has been really spiraling and really in a vibration of fear and trying to control because of this viewpoint and this frame of I can't trust reality. I don't live in a universe that provides for me, like these beliefs that I was choosing to uphold based on past experiences, based on past traumas, and based on living a majority of my life in separation consciousness, which I am still trying to evolve out of. Like, I'm not trying to preach here saying, I've got it all figured out, I've risen above separation, I am in unity. No. We're still transcending the lower nature of humanity, those shadow states where we feel disconnected and separate, and like things are out to get us and that things are happening to us, not for us, etc. So you know, as I said, I was ruminating, and I really realized that, you know, what if I take this advice that's coming to me through this video, that I can surrender. And the one piece of advice that Aaron has been really, really gifting us all in his videos recently is being good either way. And basically having a healthy detachment to outcome. Meaning, you know, if my Chewy order gets delivered, good. If it doesn't, good. We're good either way. We're not attached to this needs to get here or else I'm gonna die. You know, we don't need to slip into that dramatic overreaction. And so I started really employing that technique. Like, okay, even if my Chewy order gets here, I'm gonna be okay. My cats are gonna be okay. I do have this other brand that they don't really like of cat food that's, you know, still healthy. It's like non-GMO cat food, which, you know, I love to feed my babies good eats. But I started really playing with my frame within and was like, you know what? Even if it doesn't get delivered, when my boyfriend's mom gets home, I could always ask her if she wants to go to the store with me, if she wouldn't mind spending $10 on a few cans. You know, I really realized that these worst case scenarios and where my ego mind was going, like, even if that happened, it wasn't a bad outcome. And basically I was trying to control, and I was ruminating, and I was like, this Chewy order needs to get here, because I felt like that was a negative outcome, that if it didn't come and I had to be vulnerable and I had to ask for help, that would be bad. But the second I realized that, okay, like, I can put my ego aside, I am not a bad person if I need to ask for help, you know, that's not a bad outcome. And then I continued listening to the video, and he started talking about, you know, when we're in our ego and we're trying to control and avoid a perceived negative outcome, it usually reveals that we don't trust in the divine, and that we don't feel connected to the divine or God or spirit, source, whatever, and that we feel, you know, abandoned by the divine, and we don't feel like we live in an abundant universe, and basically we slip into these shadow scarcity states of consciousness. And as I realized that more, because the first step really is awareness, and this video wasn't like changing my life, it was just bringing me the awareness that I needed to trigger a shift within me. And so that's actually why I'm sharing this with you guys, because I hope that in me sharing this kind of long drawn out story, I'll sum it up at the end, but in sharing this, I hope to inspire a shift in you guys' life and help you to sort of take back your power and shift your frame about how you're interacting with your circumstances and with your experiences. So back to the story. So I'm watching the video, I realize, like, oh shit, you know, started shifting back and realizing, like, affirming to myself, you know, I do believe in this woo-woo stuff. I do believe we live in an abundant universe. I've had so many experiences personally where I've been provided for, you know, out of nothing, where miracles have manifested, where, you know, the worst case scenario that I was trying to prevent and predict, even if it happened, it wasn't actually bad. And I actually had a big revelation in this moment, because so this week, actually, the day I'm filming this is August 18th. And this week we are contemplating Gene Key 29, Gene Key 29, the 29th Gene Key, which is the shadow of half-heartedness, the gift of commitment, and the city of devotion. And I hold this Gene Key prominently in my chart. I'm pretty sure I may have this Gene Key twice in my Gene Keys profile, but anyway, so I have really been reflecting on my own half-heartedness and where I am not committing fully to life, committing to seeing things through to their organic end, and just really being half-hearted and lacking commitment. And so it really dawned on me that, wow, you know, if this, FedEx driver who's delivering my Chewy order, if they are, you know, aligned with the principles of the universe, then they will, you know, they said they were going to deliver my package, so they're going to deliver it. They're committed to delivering my package. So I can expect that this package is going to be delivered, and as I started to reflect within and look within at my own half-heartedness and how much work I have done to commit to the things that I commit to. Like if I commit to something, not backing out when the resistance pops up. When I commit to something, seeing it through until its natural end, not quitting the second it gets tough or the second I get bored. And I've really been showing up for myself, doing daily practices, doing the things that I've committed to and devoted myself to. And in doing this, I really reflected and, kind of reflected back to myself that, if I am committed and I am following through with my commitments and I'm, doing what I say I'm going to do in regards to my work, my relationships, etc., which in reflecting, I really have been. And half-heartedness is something I have struggled so much with. Commitment, I have, full body chills, I've deeply struggled with. So in reflecting on this inner work that I've done and in how I am showing up for myself and I am, in the energy of commitment over half-heartedness, I realized that, I do believe this universe is a mirror. So if I am embodying this energy of commitment, then the universe is going to meet my needs and is going to reflect the energy of commitment back at me in giving me a FedEx driver that is going to commit to this delivery that they said they were going to do. I know this can seem a little bit out there, but if you've been in this like quantum soup like I have, you'll see that like as we recognize and embody a frequency, the things we interact with, the experiences we attract, and the circumstances that unfold will literally mirror and reflect that. So in me seeing that I am committed and that I can be trusted and that if, someone books a service with me, I no longer put it off for a week or two like I did a year or two ago or, when I basically was first starting my business. In the past year, I have really done the work to follow through with providing the services that I have promised and committing to them. It's not that I would never not deliver a reading, but sometimes I would let that resistance sort of keep me stuck and keep me in that half-heartedness of like, I want to commit and do this, but I'm scared, and like, that half-heartedness. So in reflecting that, like, I have become very reliable. I am committed to, my work and my business. And I literally I'm doing a pretty much a free coaching program with Aaron Doherty, the YouTuber who I've been talking about, and Victor Odo, another YouTuber. They're pretty much doing a free online event, a free offering where they're coaching a lot of people and inviting them into their paid program called Full-Time Purpose. So today was the opening call for that free coaching program. And in that, a big, like, the intention was committing to our business. And it was all, chills again, the goosies. And the theme of the first call was commitment. And how when we're half-hearted and we're not fully committed, that's when we kind of like self-sabotage or we screw ourselves over or we don't, see the results that we want. So in like having all these revelations as I'm watching this video, I really like did the somatic work to like feel, I can trust this universe. I do trust that this universe provides to everyone, including me. And that if I am committed to my goals and if I'm committed to like doing good work and doing the things, following through on the things that I commit to, then this FedEx driver is going to do the same thing. And this worst case scenario that I've been ruminating about all freaking day, the second I realized like, oh, it's not that bad, it like the charge dissipated. And so as I'm thinking all these things and as this is happening, my Chewy order arrives. The second I dropped into a different frame, the second I shifted my embodied vibration, the second I shifted and was like, you know what, I'm good either way. And I do trust that this is going to get here, even if it's later than expected. Dude, the second it arrived, like, I cannot make up how like magical this experience was. Like, and I'm not making this up, by the way. It wasn't like a few minutes later, I went and did dishes. No, the second I shifted my frame, I shifted my perspective on the outcome, and the second I dropped attachment to outcome and just leaned into that trust and surrender, it literally happened. So I also think that I'll link, I don't know if I can link like other YouTube videos in my description, but I'll link the video that I was watching because it was really, really, really simple concepts. And I mean, a lot of this stuff is simple. You know, it's about just being reflective, kind of catching ourselves when we're leaning into the vibration of fear and leaning into that separation and that control and the kind of ego. And it's not that the ego is bad, it's just you want to not let the ego get away with itself, because that can get you on a downward spiral like I was on all day. So trust in the lessons that are coming your way, trust in the experiences that are in your frame right now, because they're there for a reason. And sometimes all we need is a perspective shift to lean into surrender, to lean into trust, and really see, like, just go within those ruminating spirals. Like, what is the worst case scenario that I'm trying to prevent? What is the fear here? And then the second you kind of become clear with that and embody that true new vibration, I guarantee things will happen to you, happen for you. Because another big lesson here, I feel like I just like said that on purpose. Another big lesson here is that things don't happen to you because you're bad or you suck or like whatever. Everything happens for you, by you, because you are everything, to help you come into more alignment with the truth and with who you really are and what you're really capable of. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Thanks for listening to my little story time, and namaste.